We grow up with a very natural intuition that what we can see, touch, and measure is reality. A sky full of stars, planets, galaxies, matter, us. But there is a truth that causes this entire intuition to collapse. The universe is not made of what we can see. In fact, the part we can see is almost negligible. The stars glittering in the night sky, the galaxies stretching across billions of light years, all the matter that makes up Earth and your own body together, they account for less than 5% of the universe. What does that mean? It means that 95% of reality exists beyond human experience. It does not emit light. It does not reflect light. It cannot be touched. It cannot be seen. We do not live in a universe of matter. We are drifting within an invisible ocean where the unseen is what truly decides whether galaxies can exist at all, whether the universe will expand forever or collapse, and whether this reality will continue to exist in the future. What we call the universe is in truth only a thin layer of foam floating on the surface of a far deeper structure. And from this moment on, one question becomes unavoidable. If what we can see is only the smallest fraction, then what is the universe really made of? 2. What we see is not the deepest foundation of the universe. When we think about the universe, we usually think of familiar things: stars, planets, galaxies, and our own bodies. All of these are made from the same type of substance, ordinary matter. Atoms, molecules, and particles that form everything we can see and touch. But here is the problem. When scientists add up all the ordinary matter in the universe, every star, every cloud of gas and dust, every galaxy, the total is not enough to explain how the universe actually behaves. Galaxies rotate too fast. Galaxy clusters do not fall apart the way familiar laws predict. The large-scale structure of the universe remains stable, even though it should have collapsed long ago. This points to an important truth. Ordinary matter is only the most visible layer of reality, and it appeared late in the history of the universe. What we build from it, humans, Earth, stars, is not the foundation of reality, but the result of deeper invisible laws that were already operating long before. In other words, science is not wrong, but it is approaching the universe from its most observable layer, not from the deepest level of reality. If everything that makes up our familiar world is only the surface of the universe, if reality is not built from what we can see, then what is it built from? Share your thoughts below. 3. Stars are where the universe learned how to create matter. After the Big Bang, the universe was extremely simple. It contained only the 3 lightest elements, hydrogen, helium, and a very small amount of lithium. Beyond that, there was nothing else. No oxygen to breathe, no carbon to form life, no iron, calcium, or any of the familiar elements we know. Everything truly changed when the first stars appeared. Inside stellar cores, under immense temperature and pressure, light atoms were forced to fuse together, creating heavier elements. When stars ran out of fuel and exploded as supernovae, they released all of these elements back into space. From the remnants of these stellar explosions, new generations of stars, planets, and eventually humans were formed. In other words, every element in your body was once forged in the heart of a star. 4. The universe nearly erased itself. According to the laws of physics, every particle of matter has an opposing counterpart called antimatter. They are identical in mass, but carry opposite electric charges. When matter and antimatter meet, they annihilate each other completely, converting all of their mass into energy. Here's the problem. Right after the Big Bang, the universe should have produced matter and antimatter in almost equal amounts. If that balance had been perfect, everything would have collided and annihilated. And today the universe would contain only light. No stars, no planets, no people. But for a very small and still not fully understood reason, matter gained a tiny advantage over antimatter. That minuscule imbalance was enough to give our entire familiar universe a chance to exist. 5. Plasma, the most common state of matter. On Earth, we are used to living with solid ground, liquid water, and air. That familiarity makes us assume that solids, liquids, and gases are the most common states of matter. But beyond Earth, reality is completely different. In the universe, more than 99% of ordinary matter exists in a state called plasma. This is when atoms are stripped apart, electrons move freely, and matter responds intensely to electric and magnetic fields. Stars, nebulae, auroras, lightning, and even sunlight itself are all manifestations of plasma. In other words, we are living on a cold island of matter, surrounded by a universe where matter in a blazing energized state is the norm. A question for you. Comment 1 if you think humans and Earth are a rare exception existing within a universe that is fundamentally very different from the environment we are used to. Comment 2 if you think the universe itself is the normal state and the way we exist on Earth is just a temporary special case. Leave your comment and see how many people are on your side. 6. Dark matter. When scientists measure the motion of galaxies, they uncover something deeply puzzling. Galaxies rotate far faster than the amount of visible matter should allow. According to all familiar laws, they should have been torn apart long ago, but they remain intact. This means there must be an invisible form of matter creating additional gravity, holding galaxies and galaxy clusters tightly together. This substance does not emit light, does not reflect light, and cannot be observed directly. We know it only through the gravitational effects it leaves behind. Scientists call it dark matter. It does not form stars or planets, but it acts as the universe's invisible framework, the scaffold on which all large-scale structures are built and remains stable for billions of years. 7. Dark energy is driving the expansion of the universe. Not everything in the universe pulls things together. There is a form of energy that does the opposite. It does not attract, it pushes. It does not act on individual objects, but directly on space itself. When scientists measure the distances between distant galaxies, they discover that the universe is not only expanding, but expanding faster and faster over time. The gravitational pull of matter is not enough to explain this. There must be an invisible form of energy overpowering everything else. This is known as dark energy. It makes up about 68% of the entire universe, more than ordinary matter and dark matter combined. And it is dark energy that determines the universe's long-term fate, whether it will continue expanding forever or end in a completely different way. 8. The universe is not made of only matter and energy. For centuries, humans believed the universe consisted of just two things, matter and energy. But modern research suggests there may be something even more fundamental: information. At the deepest level, every particle and every interaction carries information. When a physical system changes, it does not merely exchange energy, it also stores, transmits, and transforms information. The concept of entropy, often understood as disorder, is in fact directly related to how much information a system contains. In the quantum world, the state of a particle exists only as probabilistic information. Even space-time itself is suspected to emerge from deeper networks of informational connections. This points to a bold possibility. The universe does not merely operate with matter and energy, but may be built upon an invisible informational structure beneath everything we observe. 9. When matter began to become aware of itself. Across the entire universe, only an extremely small fraction of matter is capable of forming life. The right conditions are rare, and not every kind of matter can do it. Two elements play a central role: carbon and water. Carbon's flexible bonding allows the formation of complex structures. Water provides a stable environment in which chemical reactions can occur continuously. From these simple combinations, matter gradually organized itself into cells, living organisms, and eventually nervous systems. At the highest level, matter does not merely exist, it becomes aware. Consciousness can be seen as the highest known level of organization of matter. When humans think about the universe, it is not just a creature observing the sky, it is the universe observing itself through us. 10. The big picture of reality. When all the pieces are put together, the picture of the universe looks very different from our original intuition. About 4.9% of the universe is ordinary matter, everything that makes up stars, planets, and our own bodies. Around 27% is dark matter, the invisible substance that keeps galaxies and large-scale structures from falling apart. And the largest portion, nearly 68%, is dark energy, the force pushing space itself to expand and determining the universe's long-term future. Within this entire picture, the fraction of matter capable of forming life accounts for less than 0.05%. A number so small, it is almost negligible. Yet from that tiny fraction, the universe has produced beings capable of questioning its own existence. And in that moment, the universe does not merely exist, it begins to become aware of itself.